Hey guys, Jaden Fishing back with another video, and today is my 4-week update on my tank. I'm going to be showing you what happened in my tank, what I've learned, and maybe some advice and tips and tricks that I might have learned over the course of the past 4 weeks in my fish tank. So stay tuned. Alright, so here are the supplies that I actually use for my tank. We have just a towel here. It's the Aggie towel. But just pick up any water, drips, anything that like falls out of the tank, water wise. Then we have this Aqueon algae scrubber. Let me see if I could take it off with one hand. It's a very strong magnet. Yeah, there we go. Okay, 1 second. So this side goes on the outside, the fuzzy side goes on the outside. This side you put on the inside of the tank. You just move it around and it scrubs the tank from the inside. So that is pretty cool. Then I just have this cup, I don't know, just for reasons. And then we have my net that I use to net out, like, if there's like a bunch of grass in the tank, I'll just take it out with this. Or if I need to release a fish, then I'll just use this. And then we have API Stress Coat Plus. This is dechlorinator and protects the fish, as it says right there. Well, it won't focus, but there we go. Then I have API Leaf Zone. This is a fertilizer because I have a bunch of live plants in my tank. Then I have API Algae Eater wafers. I just drop 1 or 2 of these, well, half a pellet once or twice a week in here, and I can show you the actual pellets. Just get this off. Just little wafers like that. Then we have Tetra Ick Guard, and then we have Aqueon Quiet Flow 10 filter. I got a whole plan for that, but I'll show that to you in a separate video. Also, I put a black background on my tank, just so the fish feel protected from one side, and it also looks better than having it go straight to the wall. So, over the course of the past 4 weeks, I've gone through a couple different things for my tank. Got some algae growth on top of the mangrove. I'm not sure how to actually get rid of that. I've tried scraping it off with a pocket knife. That doesn't work. I don't have any tiny scissors to cut that off with, or any shears or anything like that. So if you guys have any tips on how to get rid of that algae, please let me know. And as you guys should know, I have 3 fish in my tank. I've named him. So here's my big algae eater. He's fat, he eats a lot. I named him Jumbo. And then we have my bluegill. I can't decide between naming him Nugget or Paul Bunyan, because Nugget just because, and Paul Bunyan because he acts like he's big and strong, just like Paul Bunyan was. And yes, I know he's a myth, but well, a folk tale. But I mean, you guys leave in the comments whether you want to name him Paul Bunyan or Nugget. And then we have my really small, underdeveloped algae eater that hides all day. I'm not exactly sure where he is, but I've named him Peppa because that was the only suggestion I got for a name that was not saying to name it after one of my friends. But we got some more live plants. Have moved stuff around too. This Anubias has sprouted a new leaf. That one right there, that light green one that's mostly in focus. And we've gotten something, I forgot what it was called, Windelov Java Fern, whatever it is. I've got one there, one in the roots right there, and then one way back there in the back corner. And I also got some barrels from my cousin. He has a fish tank too. He sort of inspired me to get a fish tank, and I bought these from him for $1. Just adds a pop of color and a hiding place for the fish. And in the previous videos, I had Amazon Compacta plant right here. I've moved that right in front of the barrels right there. This one where the leaf is right here, that plant. And then my Amazon sword is growing pretty big back there. It's got a bunch of big leaves on there. And the top fin filter, it's going just fine, very quiet. Not a ton of calcium built up inside because it's only been 4 weeks. But I find that you have to replace these every 2 to 3 weeks. So I replaced the first one in 2 weeks. This one, it just hit the 2-week mark and it's still going. But that's only if you have it on low power the entire time. Because here's a flow adjuster, and you could make it go high power too. Like you can see all the bubbles and the current stuff. You have to change it to low, and now there's like no bubbles basically. So that's sort of what's been going on in my tank. My bluegill, he also got ick, and if you don't know what that is, it's white spot disease. It's when they get a bunch of white spots all over them. They're little parasites, I think. I'm not really sure, but it eventually covers them, and it can be fatal if you do not cure it. So I used the Tetra Ick Guard. Oh, wait a second. And this stuff, it took 3 doses. Dose once a day if the ick still persists. And don't get it confused with this other thing, so if it's just spread out all over the body in the fins, then it is ick. But if it is in little clumps and patterns, then it's something else, and that will kill your fish. It is uncurable. So that's basically what's been going on in my tank. If you guys have any suggestions on how to get rid of this algae, please let me know down in the comments, and also let me know whether you want to name this guy Nugget or Paul Bunyan. Well guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to go anywhere and fish everywhere. Bye peeps.